None of that.
Bitch, they be like, Earth go hard. Have y'all ever listened to Lil Dicky?
No.
Dude, there's one song that he does called Pillow Talk, and he's like, I'm just pillow talking with a bitch. Yeah. But it's like him, like they have sex and then they start getting this conversation, like they get in a conversation about religion, and then they get in a conversation. It's all a rap.
Yeah.
They get in a conversation about like being a vegetarian and slaughtering animals and stuff like that. It's like it's fucking hilarious. And at one point his brain gets involved and he's like, and the brain gotta poop. The brain gotta poop still. Do not neglect the brain. I'm just pillow talking with a bitch. Yeah. All right. Kerry, shut your mouth. Don't say anything. Let's get this bitch going. Oh, shit. I actually have to open the file first, huh? That might help. Don't do that ever again. Why aren't my files opening? I just pillow talking with a bitch. Yo.
Why do I have that fucking song set in my head?
I don't know, but I do love that song, so I'm okay with it.
I want to do some knitting.
You want to do knitting?
Yeah.
Fuck is wrong with you?
Well, just knit.
Oh man,
It saves the soul.
I was gonna prop my phone up on my beer, but then I want to be able to drink it.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right.
White people problems.
I don't know. I think that's sort of multicultural.
I guess.
Multicultural problems.
If it was like a 40 of OE, or maybe a Tecate.
Hold on. That's not going out. What?
Oh,
Pause. Pause, damn you. Why isn't it fucking pausing?
It is.
Everything's working a little slowly right now. The computer doesn't like all the processes that are going on right now.
The computer can suck my balls.
How would you like to suck my ball, Mr. Garrison?
Mr. Garrison.
All right. Hold on. Silence for a second. All right. My test. All right. I'm good. Oh, the recording volume needs to go down. All right, my test. All right, Andrew, test.
Testes. 1, 2. I've only got 2.
Oh, hold on.
Although the side, like the left one is like practically like 1.5.
Okay, hold on. All right, test. All right, Andrew, you test.
Test.
Perfect.
Test.
All right, Kerry, test.
Test for me, but not for thee.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
What?
Okay, I can solve this problem later. I think I can record everything later off of the stream. So we're just going to do the stream right now. I'm not going to record. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I know. Well, because I have to turn him off, or else I have to turn him off on voice meter, or else
You've already turned me off.
Damn it.
You son of a bitch.
Everything's set up except this one fucking thing. But if I have to go back and do it later, I'll do it.
And then it all goes to shit. It's going to turn to, why can't we see Kerry? The echo's back. No.
I want snacks.
I'll find some other damn headphones. These are annoying. I hate these stupid earbuds.
I'm going to talk into the mic now and say things that people might not like, but that's okay, because fuck you.
Because fuck you.
Lord, these look
Alright, so I can
so
record
much
on this
better.
computer while having the stream up.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. Yeah, Oh, yeah. Yeah,
The mic is on this damn computer.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what?
Are you practicing responses to
Yeah.
people?
Yeah. What?
It's working.
Yeah.
You're
I
doing
know.
so good.
I know.
Oh, shit. Hold on. I forgot my mouse.
If I knew where the mic was, I could speak into it better, but I have no idea where the thing is on here. Andrew, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm just ignoring all the stupid shit you're saying.
Where the
Sick burn.
I don't know. Is that it?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What is that? I don't know what that is. I don't know. Whatever. I'll just get really close. I'll be right here. Maybe you can hear me better. Can you hear me better right now?
Yeah.
Is it better?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be right here.
Yeah. And if you took the cock out of your mouth, it'd be even better. These sick burns just come.
Do they?
All
Yeah.
over
Do you
my
just think of
face.
those? Do you just think of think those up like on the fly by yourself? Like,
Yeah, like all by myself.
Is that
I
just?
mean, I wrote a couple down that I heard on the radio one time, but that's other than that, mostly by myself.
This is just sheer talent.
I mean, it really is. It really is.
Like I've heard of.
God bless me with the gift of bullshit.
Do you have savant syndrome?
What?
I think that's a syndrome.
It's a syndrome.
I've got Asperger's.
Stop bumping the table, damn it! God.
One of them
Not the
retards
thing.
that
I
do
just
math.
sometimes I shit burgers because they don't fully digest.
Even your long ass legs. Stop shaking the table.
Yeah, if you put the food in your butt, it'll come out your mouth.
All right,
One of my favorite South Park episodes
Kerry,
of all
shut
time.
up for a second. All right. Damn it.
Welcome to Nerded Up.
Shut up.
Welcome into the Nerded Up Podcast.
I don't understand why you got like just why you have to make fun of. Why are you laughing at my intro?
I just keep thinking of like by Skrillex. We're gonna hear a new beat by Fatboy Slim. We thought he was dead, but he's back.
What's funny is Kerry's not allowed to talk while this entire intro plays, or else his voice is going to echo because the way this is set up. So we can just watch him dance the whole time on the stream.
I don't have the benefit of watching.
Shut up, Kerry. We're going to hear your echo. Don't echo. God damn it, man. Trying to run a professional program right now. God damn it. Okay, you can talk now. It's over. Welcome into the Nerded Up Podcast. I am Josh Beard at Josh Beard Radio on Twitter. He is Andrew Van Wart, as always, at Dare Warthog on Twitter. And we are joined once again in our second test stream of the Nerded Up Podcast by my close friend, my best friend, former lover, not really, Kerry Craig, who doesn't have a Twitter handle. He's not on Twitter. He quit all social media because he's just some like loner nihilist guy that doesn't believe in any kind of social media whatsoever.
God didn't make
Couldn't
Twitter,
even
so I
nothing
shouldn't be on it.
What? Okay, so we can't be on Twitter because God didn't make it?
Yep, didn't make Twitter.
I feel like that's not how that works.
He did make the Transformers, though.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff to dive into today. So, there's a few things that we all want to talk about and that interest us all. But I think the first thing that I really wanted to dive into, and we won't go too in depth with it just because a lot of it's just pure speculation. We can only kind of talk about the things that we like and we didn't like from this, but it's the Destiny 2 reveal. So I think that's what we're going to hit first. I think that's probably topic A, the most important one, the thing that a lot of people are going to want to hear about because surprisingly, Destiny is still such a popular damn game. So I know Kerry took extensive notes.
Yeah.
As we've learned, he took ridiculous amounts of. Are you wearing? Time out. Are you wearing your Xbox headset for this right now?
Yes.
Why? Whatever works, man. I didn't even know you could wear those Xbox headsets on the PC. I have the exact same pair. I need to do that from now on.
I have the Halo version.
Do you have the Halo version?
Yeah, I could have brought those and looked super cool.
I want the Halo version.
I'm tired of the earbuds.
Real fast before we get started, you can find us on Facebook.com //
Yeah.
/NerdedUpPod. You can find us at NerdedUpPod on Twitter. Shut up, guys! I'm doing branding. You can find us. We're streaming right now on Facebook, so you can check the stream out on Facebook. Hopefully, people are checking it out right now. Soon, some big things are going to happen. That's why we're testing these streams. So there might be another platform we get to move to soon. We're on iTunes now and on Google Play. So go check us out on iTunes and Google Play. Just look up the Nerded Up podcast on both of those things. And of course, as always, what you're probably listening to right now, we're on Podbean, nerdeduppod.podbean.com.
That's a mouthful.
I'd rather have a different mouthful than that. Yeah. Right. But okay, so let's dive into Destiny 2. I think here's my takeaways from this. I like that it's going to be more story driven.
Yeah.
I like that there's going to be a larger focus on story, because there are too many times in Destiny where I'm playing the game and I don't know why I was doing the things that I was doing. I'm the kind of guy where it's, if somebody tells me to do something, I'm like, why am I doing it? Why am I doing that? Even
for the glory of the Lord, Josh. For the glory of the Lord.
Well, okay. Even so far as yesterday, I ran out of gas because I was flirting. I flirted one too many times.
Why did I fill up my gas tank? Yeah. Who's telling me to do this?
Well, I flirted one too many times with the gas gods. I'm I was thinking about it afterwards. I'm I went to this. Luckily I ran out of gas right next to an auto shop,
right.
And I went. They helped me out. They drove me to the gas station, which was maybe a quarter mile away. Helped me fill up, and I was like, "What was the purpose of this experience? Is this just some random happenstance, or was there a purpose?" That's the way my mind works.
It might be to highlight that you're a dumbass and he's to
right.
put gas in his vehicle. How do you run out of gas?
To highlight that gaslight is a thing, and you should probably pay attention to it when it comes on.
It's really just
Mine even makes a noise. It's that convenient.
It's really just an advisory, right? It's a suggestion. It's you can get gas now, or you can wait until
I'm just
later.
glad you said gas gods after flirting, because I thought you were going to say the gas station attendant, and it was brought to mind that angry German lady. Bucky's, have you met her yet?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's like, would you like a brownie with that? I'm like, no, man.
Would you like one of our fake Rice Krispie treats now?
I'm selling subscriptions to go to camp. Do you want to go to camp? No, I don't want to.
Yeah, and I promise this cake is not poisoned either. But that's the way my mind works. Is I always think about why are these things happening? And while Destiny, the thing that saved Destiny was the gunplay. Because it's some of the most fluid, phenomenal gunplay that I've ever experienced, and that saved the entire game. That, and they did a good job of letting people play the way they had people play together worked out really, really well, and it was perfect. But you had to read grimoire cards, and you had to unlock them by finding things, and the stories, other than Cade 6 in the Taken King kind of telling you why you were going to take down the Taken King.
Right.
And Nathan Fillion was the only thing that saved Destiny.
Well, they used to have the Dinklage, and that was sad that they no longer have.
I hated him. I hated Peter Dinklage for the Ghost.
I love the Dinklage. I just want to carry him around in my pocket all the time, which I probably could actually.
What's the name? What's the name of the guy that replaced Peter Dinklage as
Nolan North?
Nolan North, hands down, just so much better in that part, because it was from the very beginning, you could tell Peter Dinklage really wasn't that into it. He didn't really care, And so Nolan North went into this. He's been a voice actor for such a long time in so many different games. He gave a shit.
What else has he done? I'm not familiar with him.
Oh man, he's done
everything.
He did what?
Uncharted.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did do Uncharted. I mean, if you go look at his IMDb, there's just so many things that I didn't even realize he had done that he has done, and all of it's been really good. But Peter Dinklage, he started getting so popular on Game of Thrones to where it became dude, you were the elf, or you were the boss that
getting a little too
thought was an elf.
Big for his britches.
Because he's a tiny person.
Yeah, that was. Please don't sue kids.
But but Destiny had its pitfalls and it had its problems. The Taken King kind of saved Destiny. I felt like, I know Kerry wasn't as big of a fan because he thought it was too short, but I enjoyed the Taken King expansion. I played it a lot. I did the King's Fall raid a lot. I fell off as the Relic Runner a lot and pissed off a lot of raid parties sometimes, but overall the Taken King was an enjoyable experience. And then you go to what is the Iron, what is the Iron, what is it? Not Iron Islands. That's Game of Thrones. The Rise of Iron update.
Yeah,
the Rise of Iron update was good too. So Destiny I enjoyed, but Destiny 2, it already seems like they're doing some things that are going to be better. And that one thing being, it's going to have a storyline to it.
Right.
But now we'll get into that. So that's the thing that I like the most. I don't really think there's anything that I dislike. Really, there's some things I have problems with, but nothing that I really dislike. So Kerry, we'll go to you. Go pull out your notebook. Where's your notebook? Show us your notebook. I don't see your notebook, Kerry. Show us your notebook. There's your notebook. Okay. Tell us the one thing that you like and all of the things that you don't like.
What was the one thing I liked? I don't remember.
It should be in your notebook. I think it was just the story.
Yes.
I think you also said it didn't care for dedicated servers.
No, there's no dedicated servers for the PC version, which, whatever. We already talked about it. It is what it is. Who cares?
Well, let's talk about it again, because I don't have any problem with that.
I mean, some people care about it. It is what I'm not going to play it on PC. I don't play much of anything on PC anymore, so it is what it is. But I'm sure there's some people out there that are pissed off that they can't have dedicated servers on PC, but
wah, boo-hoo, bitch and moan. Like, the people that are going to bitch about dedicated servers are the people they're just finding little shitty things to nitpick. Yeah, it's a bit laggy, but who gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean, I can see why. I mean, for a company that big, and for a franchise as big as Destiny, it would seem that dedicated servers would just be kind of a given because of the higher performance if you really want it to perform well. I'm someone whose internet is so shitty that it's not really going to matter. They can have dedicated servers. They can have a server just for me, and it would still be shitty lag on all the gaming. So I can see why people who have fast internet and the ability to recognize the difference there would want them to kind of pony up and have the expense for such a big project. But
right.
You know, other than that, I don't think it's going to make a big difference to me, so I'm not all that worried about it.
All right, more things that you dislike, Kerry.
Whatever. Well, if you're gonna do it right. If you're gonna branch out on a different console, fucking do it the way you should be. You're a giant company with millions of dollars, whatever. Anyway,
it is a good thing that they're trying to partner with Blizzard, and maybe in partnering with Blizzard, they'll try to add dedicated servers later. I mean, that's not unheard of. Battlefield 4 did that. They even on the console, they didn't have any dedicated servers, and then later on they added dedicated servers. So maybe that's something that they could do once they get the partnership deal with Blizzard going.
Yeah.
Maybe. The stuff not transferring, I don't know. That still kind of pisses me off. Only your character transferring to the new one. I mean, granted, it is a sequel, but I don't know. I think for the people that spent, 300 hours in the game and having not having their stuff carry over is probably going to be a little frustrating.
Right. I was thinking about that a little bit more after we talked about it last night in our first test stream. And I think that is like, at least do something to reward the people that put the time in to get all that stuff. So for me, I didn't put in enough time to really care.
Yeah.
But for the people that I know put in just they put in weeks worth of playtime in this one game. Do at least reward them with something. Give them some special weapon that you only get if you put in like a certain amount of time, or if you had a certain amount of exotic gear. Just find some way to reward the people that put that much time in, because it really does feel like, well, so I just wasted 2 years of my life.
Right. So do something where you could like cash in equipment and things like that.
Right.
Like if you have a certain amount for a certain value, be able to, start out with some. Because for me, I'm one of those, I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time doing it or playing as often as I would like. I didn't have a whole lot of stuff that would transfer anyway. So for me, it's kind of like, well, fuck it. But I mean, the fun for me with Destiny was starting out and going after all those things. I mean, the whole part of getting that stuff is almost like achievements. I mean, it's things that you put the time in to do it. And so if you start out already halfway there or 3/4 of the way there, then for me that would diminish the fun. It kind of takes like if you start out with the most badass gun in the game, and then you hop into like the first level and you're just destroying everything. It's a fucking turkey shoot. There's not any challenge to it. It's not that much fun. So,
right.
So starting out, as a newbie, or I think part of what makes the playing through a story, especially a story that's going to actually be a lot more. I mean, having a story mode and having a common thread that's going to be connecting everything. I mean, if you start out at God level at the beginning, like why the fuck, why couldn't you just have saved the world at the beginning?
Right.
So I think it's something that's consistent with the storyline they're trying to do, and it makes sense. I can see why people would be pissed, but I'm not one of them. I think I take games as they are for the most part. I'm not good at making games or any of that shit, so I leave it up to the professionals. If it's fun, I'll play it. If not, I won't.
I think out of the three of us, that's why I say Kerry's a naysayer, but out of the three of us, Kerry's probably got the most experience with a wide array of games.
I play everything.
You do play everything.
Comes out, I just I'll gamefly whatever. I don't care.
Even though you like Darksiders.
It was fun,
dude. Darksiders, Darksiders is good.
I just love making fun of him for liking Darksiders. I just make fun of him for it just because it's hilarious.
Now, Darksiders, the first one, badass. The second one, not so much. I'm really hoping.
I didn't like the second one.
Yeah, the second one wasn't all that great, but I'm really hoping the third one kind of elevates the sons of bitches.
I hope so.
Looks like it's going to be good.
So do you have anything else on your list of things that you like or dislike?
I still not a fan of the 4v4 only. Still don't like it.
What if it's okay? What if the 4v4? Because from what I've read, that's just the PvP. If it's not, let's just talk specifically about the PvP. If it's 4v4, so is that really that big of a problem? Because if you think about Halo, in Halo, one of the most fun game modes that I ever played was SWAT, and that SWAT was 4v4, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the most fun that I've ever had playing shooters was in Halo's 4v4 mode, and it did make it more fast-paced. It did make it more competitive, so I enjoyed that. So
yes, but that was one game mode. One. You could play that and then go to big team battle and have 16 players.
That's
you don't
fair.
have that option anymore. You have to play with four people versus four people. That's your only options anymore.
Yeah. Well, I wonder. I think some of it might be that if they're not, it may be a product of them not having dedicated servers, because if you're when you have that many players at one time, if you only have 4v4, then you have a finite amount of information and stuff to move and deal with. And so I'm wondering if that is kind of a symptom of not having dedicated servers that can handle the kind of load of a big team battle without it being laggy as shit.
Yeah.
That might be something that if they do get dedicated servers later on, that they might change. Because I think you're right that isolating it to only 4v4 seems kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
I could play Battlefield 1 on a giant map with a ton of people, but Destiny has these little bitty maps with 4v4 only.
Yeah.
I just didn't put that much effort into it, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess my only thing is I from playing Crucible, I didn't like because as the Guardian, you have all of these powers. It's these powers where you can just destroy people.
But why?
So quickly.
Who gave them to you? What is their purpose?
Yeah, but you have these crazy powers that can destroy people so quickly. Like you think about the Storm. What is the Stormcaller Warlock? Where once he gets his super, he can just annihilate an entire team, especially with as many people as are in there. And I like the idea of essentially, I guess what it seems like they're trying to do is make the maps smaller. Or make the maps bigger by making the teams smaller. Right. So you don't cluster these large groups of guys in these Crucible matches. And I just kind of like that because it gets a little too hectic with 6-on-6 sometimes. Yeah. And I like kind of bringing that down to 4-on-4. I do wish they maybe would add in 1 or 2 game modes where it's a little bigger to add in that variation. So that's a good point. I don't know. Shut up, Kerry. I hate agreeing with you. God damn it. So Andrew, just thinking about Destiny 2, I know you didn't have a lot of experience with the first Destiny. So what are you looking forward to with this game?
I mean, we've touched on it already. I'm really looking forward to the story mode. I mean, I'm a campaign player, not much of a multiplayer online player. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with that. Like I said, I loved going around questing and getting all the new equipment and reaching the achievements and things like that. Like that for me is fun, building the character and kind of building it up, to get the coolest shit that you can possibly.
It makes me sad that you didn't have more experience with Destiny from the beginning. because we talked about this last night, but like you never got to experience the loot cave, and that makes me sad because like the loot cave, while it was the most ridiculous experience I've ever had playing a game. Where it's just like, hey guys, I'm here. It's like, you know what it was? It's like going to the same bar every single night. That's what the loot cave was. It's like you go like, all right guys, let's all meet up at the loot cave.
Yeah. It's like an episode of Cheers almost with a whole bunch of cool shit.
Hey Norm. Yes.
Kirstie Alley hasn't like eaten herself to death quite yet.
Yeah, Kerry was Kirstie Alley. That's who he was.
That's someone has to be.
Yeah, but I'm sad you didn't get to experience that. But with Destiny 2, you'll be there from the beginning. We'll have a big group of guys, even though we'll only be able to play like 4 to 6 at a time. But we'll have multiple groups going.
Right.
We'll have like 3 strike teams. It'll be great. So Destiny 2, there's a lot of good stuff with it. I like the new class system. I like the new classes. Kerry's not a big fan of the new powers of the classes. It does seem like they went very weapon-centric with what they're doing with the classes. Okay, I was looking more into the what is it? The hunter gets like the lightning staff. That's a little fucking stupid.
No, it's Donatello.
Yeah, no,
he's got a fucking bow staff, man. I've wanted a bow staff, like a real cool bow staff, since I was like 5 watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
But he had the arc blade. Like to me, the arc blade is much cooler than a lightning staff.
That's my only response when you start dissing my bow staff. Man.
But I am excited about playing the new Warlock, the new Solar War. What's the name? That's like flame sword. He's got the spinny flaming sword, which I think is kind of cool.
I think that's a spinny flaming sword is actually
the Sentinel Titan. That's the only one I actually know the name of because I'm so excited to play the Sentinel Titan, who is essentially Captain America that gets to throw a shield. And he can throw it at people, or he can throw it. I believe he can throw it to be cover too. And you can get behind it. So the Sentinel Titan seems pretty cool. I like what they're doing with the classes. The weapon system is what I'm a huge fan of. The way they're redoing the weapons. So you have the 3 different types of weapons. I think it's kinetic, energy, and power weapons, or whatever it is. So you have these 3 different weapon types, and instead of having your primary, secondary, and what the hell, the special, heavy. The tertiary, the heavy, yeah. So instead of having those 3 types, and you're kind of pigeonholed into like, oh, you have to have an assault rifle, a sniper rifle, and a rocket launcher. You can kind of build your character and customize your character to fit the situation a little bit better than you could before, and I think that's really, really cool.
So it'll be something where you got, you said there's kinetic, there's power, and then
and energy,
or energy.
Yeah. Is
it something where you could potentially like run out with like 3 heavies if you're in like a
if you wanted to, if it's like fuck this guy, let me switch them out of ammo and just like have 3 different types of fucking heavy weapons.
Well, that's because there's times that, like what the situation calls for is just a whole lot of rockets. But you run out or you don't have enough ammo. That's always really
well. And one thing that one thing I enjoyed in Destiny is you build your loadout where it's like, all right, so what are the modifiers on this strike? What are the modifiers on this nightfall? Oh, shit, things take more arc damage. Well, then I'm going to go in there with my arc weapons. And so if you can do this with these different types of weapon types where it's like, I'll most likely almost every time run in there with like 2 assault rifles and a sniper, or like an assault rifle and then a sniper and a shotgun or something like that. And then I'll have my different weapon types based off of what we're doing. And I like that better because honestly, like the heavy weapons, sometimes you have to have them.
Yeah.
Most of the time, what was I using? The freaking the black spindle or whatever the fuck it was that I was using most of the time in raids. It's like, oh, we're doing War Priest. Everybody pull out your black spindle. Yeah. Oh, we're on the next boss fight. Everybody pull out your black spindle. And then there's always one guy that's like, I didn't get the black spindle. It's like, we just fucking sit back and just do nothing. Then it's like,
I was that dude.
Yeah. You were the not. That's why I said that. You were the.
I never got it.
Yeah. Well, we tried to get it for you, but we'd stopped. So
I definitely didn't feel like putting forth the effort.
It wasn't that hard. We got it. We got the black spindle. Like Stefan and I got the black spindle the first run.
Well, and there really are some weapons that it's like you have to, like it's a full moon, you have to gather these and then spin around 3 times and sacrifice a goat. It's just like, what the fuck?
Well,
like, it's really not worth it.
The black spindle was tough because you had to go on that freaking. You had to like go through a mission and you had to do it fast enough to get back through a door before it closed. And then you had to travel and you had to like fight some fallen and then beat a boss. And you had to do it within the time limit. And if you didn't do it within the time limit, you were just screwed and you wouldn't get it. So if you did it within the time limit, you could get the black spindle and you could get some ship. And I got both drop on the first one. So I was like, yeah, lucky. It's like the first time in any video game I've been lucky.
Right.
Anyway, so Destiny 2, I'm excited. I think the overall feeling is excitement, even though Kerry's naysaying some things. But it seems like it's just nitpicky things. But you're excited about the game, is what is the vibe that I'm getting.
Well, the one thing that isn't nitpicky.
No, you're not excited about it.
Not at all.
He's just
Not
like
in the slightest.
not even. God, I hate
Well, see, I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm excited about the PC version. The only problem is they don't have a release date for the PC version. They don't know if it's going to come out September 8th. They don't know if it's going to come out, in 2018 or some other time. So, I mean, I'll probably buy it on Xbox One, but I'd really like to play it on PC, and I'd like to know when the hell I'm going to be able to play it on PC.
Yeah, and if you have the shared saves like that, I like that. I like the shared save idea where you can kind of move between the console and PC if you want to do that. There's very few games where I've played it on multiple platforms, though. So I think Borderlands 2 was one game where I played it on multiple platforms, and then Diablo 3 I've played it on a couple of platforms. But those are really the only two games that I've kind of gone back and forth. And it would have been nice to be able to share, like especially Diablo 3, it would have been nice to share all of the time and effort that I put in on PC onto the Xbox when I started playing it. So, if at some point, I start playing Destiny on the Xbox and then I want to go to the PC, then I like the fact that you can kind of split those.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll move on. Kerry's not excited about Destiny 2 because he hates the world and he just wants to watch everything burn. But Andrew and I are very excited about it because it's actually going to be a good game, and fuck Kerry, that's why.
Yes.
So moving on, this is just a quick hit. You know what we'll do? We'll do 3 words. We're going to do a 3-word sentence about how we feel about this. Tom Hardy has been cast to star as Venom for Sony's new Marvel Venom movie. 3 words, Andrew.
3. Oh shit, I don't know.
That was 5.
Is that a word?
That's just like enough.
Yeah.
Okay, Kerry, 3 words.
Gay as hell.
Okay, my 3 words might be good.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know.
I mean, it's I dig Tom Hardy, man. He's done a lot of good stuff. I loved him in Peaky Blinders. I loved him in Taboo. Kind of like I was saying last night. As long as they can not do the same fucking accent that he does all the time. He does great stuff. As Bane, he was great. It's kind of like, all right, man, just throw. Do you ever watch Bronson where he plays Charles?
No,
Like that's.
I did not. I didn't watch that.
It's a good, pretty disturbing, good flick. But I mean, just phenomenal actor. But it was pretty much just Bane with a mustache.
Yeah,
I mean, that's my only complaint. I think I don't know who's directing it. I think
it's Ruben Fleischer. Ruben Fleischer, who did what was it? He did Zombieland.
Okay. Yeah. That was a good flick. So hopefully there will be some good comic relief. Because I think that's what's going to be if they can be playful with it.
Yeah.
Like the first Spider-Man movies, and then like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie, where it's pretty much like
Venom, Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Well, it's just like you had like the Andrew Garfield. I hate him more than Tobey Maguire.
Really?
Because he turns Spider-Man into like this weird autistic kid who can't look you in the fucking eye or finish a sentence. It's like Peter Parker was a smart kid. He wasn't like, I expected him to start rocking in a corner because someone touched his sandwich like any moment in the movie.
That's why I love who they got for Spider-Man. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, like the new Spider-Man they have looks fucking awesome. The one that's coming out like Homecoming, it looks like it's actually going to be the first good Spider-Man they've ever made.
And I like Tom Holland, and I like what Tom Holland has done. As Kerry has dogs barking in the fucking background, taunting your dog. But Tom Holland is good. He was great in Civil War, and from the trailers it looks good. But that Sony doing a Marvel movie just scares me. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah.
So we'll move on. Here's another thing that I wanted to hit on. So we're seeing the first reactions from Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman, I think even more so than Justice League, is a movie that I'm really, really, really excited about because you watch the trailers for this and it looks just so good. And we've talked about it a little bit where it's got Chris Pine, who Chris Pine is good, and he's one of those guys that can do action. He's almost like an 80s Kurt Russell type of guy where he can do the action but he can do the comedy within the action as well. And he's not quite Chris Pratt, but it's fine.
He's got a lot of heart and a lot of forehead.
He's crispy. Yeah, he has a lot of forehead. And then it's got Gal Gadot, which Jesus, she is.
Yeah, I think she's a very good Wonder Woman. She has Amazon down pretty well.
Yeah. So here's some of the reactions, and I want to I want you guys to tell me if you think, like, your excitement level for this, especially after hearing these reactions. Wonder Woman, easily my favorite DCEU film, has the humor and heart the franchise so desperately needs. Godot and Pine are charming as hell. Wonder Woman is the DC movie I've been waiting for. It's exciting, inspiring, funny, and has some truly awe-inspiring action scenes. The social media embargo on Wonder Woman is up, so I can say it's truly, truly wonderful and my favorite DCEU movie so far. Last one. I loved Wonder Woman so much. Easily one of the best superhero origin films I've ever seen.
Wow.
Amazing action, and Gal Gadot is pure heaven. So where are you at? Where were you at before? I was really excited already. This has me hyped.
Yeah.
Like seeing the reaction from all these people that
is it out already? When's it coming out?
No, it's not coming out. It comes out in June.
That's
so
like
it comes out
June 3rd or something.
Yeah, something like that. And so I was already hyped before, but now, like, after most of the time, you have media people. It's like, oh, it was good, but like, well, it has some problems.
Right.
Especially with superhero films. Seeing this many people excited about Wonder Woman gets me super, super hyped.
Well, it's pretty sweet because it sounds like it's the exact opposite of all the complaints they had with the other Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you had Batman versus Superman.
The other DC movies.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
DC movies, where you have Batman versus Superman, where it's kind of like, why the fuck are we watching this movie? Like, she was honestly the best part of Batman versus Superman.
Right.
The fact that they brought her in, she was the best part. I mean, I think that I think they sound. I mean, from the looks of it, from the previews and everything, those reviews sound pretty accurate to what I was expecting. To be perfectly honest, I think they actually have a chance to develop the character better. Like the Superman movies. I mean, again, how do you have a movie about God? I mean, it's like it's like Passion of the Krypton, you know? I mean, and it's so. I mean, it's a hard movie to make. And then I think you know, Batman versus Superman. It didn't showcase the kick-ass Batman that Ben Affleck is, and I will say he's my favorite Batman thus far.
He's Batfleck, and I'm so worried he's going to drop out of being Batman.
I don't think, dude. Well, what else is he going to do other than cheating on his wife? I mean, that's really all he's got going for him right now.
But he pulled away from. I can't remember if he pulled away from writing, but he pulled out of directing it. So the Batman origin movie, that is. And then there's rumors that he was pulling away from the writing too. And then there were rumors saying that like he might want to pull out of the Batman standalone altogether. Yeah. And so I'm just so worried that Ben Affleck is going to pull out. And I didn't think I'd actually say that when they cast him, but he's my favorite Batman by far. Yeah. And people think that to me, like when I say that, that's a knock on Christian Bale.
Well, Christian Bale was a good Batman. Yes. He was a shit Bruce Wayne. Right. But you've got Ben Affleck is a hella good Bruce Wayne and a damn good Batman. I mean, you look at the guy. I mean, I can see why he wouldn't want to direct or any of that other stuff, dude. I mean, like between acting and CrossFit, like that guy has no life. How would he have time to do any of that? I mean, so I think he's really good. I'm hoping you got to see a little bit of him in Suicide Squad, and I think that's got staying power. I think you see him. They're bringing him into the kind of the movies that are on the fringes of the universe. I think he's going to stick with it. I hope I think that if Wonder Woman does well and we get some faith back in the DC franchise, that might boost him into staying. Because I hope he does, because he really is the best Batman that they've done thus far. Since Val Kilmer, of course. Yeah. the other best Batman there ever was.
So movies I've watched recently.
Or Michael Keaton.
I watched Tombstone. Yeah. I watched The Doors, and then I watched Weird Science. And
all good movies.
Wait, which one is it? Weird Science, the one that had Val Kilmer in it? No. The one where he's in college and they build a laser. What the fuck is that?
That's not Weird Science.
Pure genius. Pure genius.
Well done.
Sorry. Thank you. Well I knew it was 2 words. I was close.
Yeah.
But I watched those 3 movies, and then I think about Val Kilmer's Batman. I'm like, how did you fuck that up? Yeah. Val? Well, I mean, he's such a good actor.
They did have like the Bat-Cal condom that you could not do anything. I mean, like whenever you have like 3 inches of rubber all around your face, I mean that makes it pretty hard. He's no what's his name? He's no Leonardo DiCaprio in the Iron Mask. He just can't emote through that.
Okay, Kerry, I've never asked you this. What are your thoughts on? I know we both hated Batman versus Superman, but what are your thoughts on Batfleck as a whole? Like, how do you like Ben Affleck as Batman?
Surprisingly, I didn't have any problems with it. I actually liked him as Batman.
What?
He wasn't my favorite, but he was.
Who's your favorite?
Good. I thought Michael Keaton's my favorite.
You think so?
But Ben Affleck did a good job. He did a good job.
Oh, so Ben Affleck or Christian Bale?
Ben Affleck.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
See, my only problem with Michael Keaton, and I think there's a nostalgia factor that goes into Michael Keaton, because you're not the first person that I've heard say Michael Keaton is still your favorite. I've heard a lot of people say that, and I think a lot of it has to do with, as well as the first Batman movie that they ever saw. And I think when going back, because I went back and watched those first two movies with the kids, and Michael Keaton does Bruce Wayne so well.
Yeah.
He just, I have problems with him being Batman. That's my only issue with him. And like, if we could have somehow like had a genie have a threesome, like, and just fuck Michael Keaton and Christian Bale at the same time to create
style
Christian Keaton or Kale Keaton, Christian or Michael Bale.
We're spending too much time.
Yeah, whatever the fucking name would be. If we could have had those two guys in some weird genie amalgamation of a Batman, it would have been perfect. If we could have had Christian Bale's Batman and Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne, it would have been great. I think Ben Affleck is that. I think Ben Affleck is the love child of Christian Bale and Michael Keaton fucking.
He may be.
Yeah, and he's the Batman love child. Like, he just squirted out of... Which one? Okay, if Michael Keaton and Christian Bale fucked and had a baby, and it was...
Why would they fought and had a baby?
Fuck. No. If
okay. I was about to say, that's
if they have
violent.
If they partake in coitus with one another, male coitus, and they have relations, which one of them would have the baby? Would it be Michael Keaton or Christian Bale?
Oh, Michael Keaton.
Christian, no, fuck you, Christian Bale.
Yeah, no, it would definitely be Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton, he's like the most feminine Batman they've had. I mean, he really is. He's just
such a
so
veteran, and he's so mature in his years that he'd plow right for Christian Bale.
I just think of him and Mr. Mom, and so I got to think that Michael Keaton's definitely at the bottom in that relationship.
Yeah, I mean, he's already got the uterus for it.
Right, exactly. So
and the experience.
By the way, hands down, my favorite Michael Keaton movie, Multiplicity.
Oh,
I
hell
haven't
yes.
seen it.
Hell yes.
Oh, it's the best.
Best Michael Keaton movie. One of the best comedies, honestly.
She touched my peppy, Steve.
Well, I'm just glad they're not letting Tim Burton anywhere near Batman films anymore, because that was.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think the reason Batman took so long not to suck was because they keep like, well, let's just let Tim Burton do it. And it's like, God damn it! If it's not claymation, don't let him fucking touch it.
Okay, so we got off on a weird tangent. What were we talking about before? Oh yeah, the DC universe.
DC universe.
Let's bring it back.
Wonder Woman movie.
Let's bring it back to Wonder Woman. Okay, so Wonder Woman, I'm really excited about it. I think I was excited before that. These reviews have me more hyped. I'm the fucking eternal optimist. I think that's why Kerry and I have gotten along for so long, is because I'm the eternal optimist, and he's like, nope, it's gonna fucking suck.
Yeah,
and so it's like, we're the yin and the yang of each other. We balance each other out. So I'm the eternal optimist, and then when I see things like this, my optimism goes through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm constantly torn down whenever things suck. Like when Batman versus Superman, I was like, it's gonna be fucking awesome, guys.
Yeah.
And then it sucked. I was like, I wanted to just like lay in a hole for like a week and just pout about how bad it was.
Well, I don't like going in with preconceived notions. I mean,
You're a preconceived notion.
I am. I like going in blank slate. Just let it be what it is. Because I don't like reading reviews or anything beforehand usually. Because I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't know how to make movies. I've never made a movie.
Right.
There's a few things I'm good at, and going through the Taco Bell drive-thru, I'm very good at that. I always get my order exactly right, and I think that's about it right now. So when it comes to shitting on someone else's work, especially work that I could do myself, I'm like, hey man, better than I could probably do. So I just want it to sound good. I just hoping it's good, and if it sucks, it sucks. But I don't want to.
You could say that the three of us together could have made a better Batman versus Superman movie. The problem wasn't the directing or the direction that they went or the theme. The problem was the writing. They just didn't have like basic story building elements in it.
The whole Martha thing was like the strongest thing they had going. Why? Wait, our moms have the same name?
Martha?
Their name.
Martha's my kryptonite for my heart. Like, what the fuck, man?
All right, so before we get to Andrew's Injustice 2 review, let's talk about this. We saw this yesterday, and Andrew brought it up last night when we were kind of doing our test and kind of thinking about what we were going to talk about. And the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. It's going to be a Dark Crystal series on Netflix that's coming out. And I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, I watched Dark Crystal with the kids, and both of the kids loved that movie.
Absolutely.
And they like I've had them watch Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, and I think there was one point where Emery had a crush on David Bowie in Labyrinth. But
well, who didn't?
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest, between him and Jennifer Connelly, there's a lot to love. There's a whole lot to love.
But the Dark Crystal and what are they? The Gelflings?
Yeah.
The little Gelflings. See the what the hell are the bird things called? I can't remember.
Skeksis.
Yeah, the Skeksis. Hands. Yeah. I hate your whimper.
Yeah.
Like that's there when we first started playing Destiny. So kind of tying this back into Destiny. When we first started playing that, there was an entire group of us when we get together with other people and play. We just start going. And just, like that's my favorite noise in the world to make. So if that is in this series, every episode, I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it anyway. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't have any gauge, like what's the storyline, where are they taking it, like where's it going to go. The only thing I've watched is the trailer that's showing like that showed Jim Henson kind of like drawing some of the art and talking about how, you know, doing the Dark Crystal was one of the most difficult things he's ever done.
Yeah.
But it was also one of the most rewarding and one of the most fun.
Well, to have such a visually stunning movie that's all sets.
Right.
I mean, there's no computer graphics in the whole thing.
Right.
I mean, that's a tall order, and I'm hoping that they continue to do that. I mean, I know that, I mean, ever since, like, I grew up watching, like, The Storyteller, like, Jim Henson was my childhood.
Right.
I mean, like, you got The Labyrinth, The Dark Crystal.
Fraggle Rock. He did Fraggle Rock, too, right?
Well, my folks were of the opinion, because Dr. Dotson was of the opinion, that that I think Fraggle Rock had like Satanist undertones.
What?
Dude, I kid you not. There's this thing where, like, there's a cult. It's kind of cultish. It's like they're fucking puppets. But I mean, I was 6.
Down to Fraggle Rock and Satan.
Yeah. Hail Satan! Hail Satan! Hail Satan! Hail
Oh
Satan!
my god.
But so yeah, I mean, I'm super stoked to see what they're going to do with it. I mean, they could Michael Bay it and start ruining my childhood. With,
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, but I'm optimistic that if they stick to puppets and they bring the dude, what's the guy who does Elmo, who's like the puppeteer extraordinaire?
Oh my god, I can't remember his name.
Like if he has a hand in it, I hope to God he does. I think they could do some good. Yeah, I mean, like I hate. Yeah, exactly. If he can have his hand in something or up something, it's going to be fantastic. So.
That is good.
Oh my god, that is surprisingly good.
My name's Elmo. Would you like to tickle me?
That's kind of frightening right now.
Would you like to tickle me from the inside?
Sorry,
Jesus
that's wrong.
Christ.
Ruining childhoods, one joke at a time.
Right.
But yeah, that's my worry with the Dark Crystal is that, you know, if they do justice to just the old nostalgic feeling of the Dark Crystal, where you've got puppets and you've got like everything's a marionette, it's all set up,
right.
And they do that. Yeah, it's going to be difficult, but don't ruin it by making it a cartoon.
Right.
Don't ruin it by making it computer animation. Like
don't cast Megan Fox for anything. No.
That's okay. Every episode we have to bring up, don't cast Megan Fox.
Just as long as you don't cast Megan Fox, you're one step toward actually having a good movie.
But Netflix does. I mean, I can't think of, other than The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, I can't think of one thing that Netflix has done that I don't like.
Yeah, that one I was not a big fan of.
People love it, and I don't like it. You know, I'm not a big fan. I don't dislike it. It just doesn't pull my attention. But Orange is the New Black is one that is a Netflix show that
I was not a big fan of Lady Oz. That's just I could not get on board with that.
Okay, Kerry, your thoughts on the Dark Crystal?
I mean, they have the technology now to do practical effects with everything, and they can make it tons better. So, I mean, as long as they just stick with that, you're fine. I don't like the whole preying on people's nostalgia thing, but that's just where we are these days. That's how it's always going to be, probably for at least the immediate future. But they have the ability to not mess it up, so that's good.
Yeah, well, and I can agree with that. That, you know, like marketing towards the nostalgia, the whole member berries thing. I mean, that does get old. But you know, the part of me is, you know, you've got directors like oh shit, I'm forgetting the guy who did Avatar's name. Why am I blanking? James Cameron. You got like James Cameron sat on Avatar for a very long time because he had a great idea, but he knew that they weren't going to be able to pull it off with the technology and what they had to make it actually the movie he wanted to make it.
Right.
A lot of people don't have those with those ideas, don't have the stones to wait on it. And so I think there's some really cool stuff from our childhood, great ideas that now we actually they have the ability to expand on the universe and have it not suck. Like bringing up Blade Runner again.
Yeah.
Shit, dude, that's going to be amazing.
It is going to be amazing. We're going to have to talk about that soon because I I was watching some of the, or not watching, I was looking at some of the pictures on it and seeing it like, what is it? It's called Blade Runner 2049. Right?
Yeah.
Seeing Ryan Gosling in like that get up in that Blade Runner theme.
Absolutely.
And especially like I'm the music that I'm getting into like hardcore lately is like that synthwave outrun music. So there's this huge push, especially in the UK, to have like where they're making old 80s style synth music. And I saw
Never-ending story.
So somebody had taken the pictures from Blade Runner 2049 and put that to one of their like outrun songs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so hyped for this right now. So we're going to have to talk about that at some point because that looks like it's going to be a really good movie. And, something else that Netflix has done, and I thought they did a really good job on it. I've only watched 4 episodes of it so far because they're so fucking long.
Yeah.
But talking about playing off of people's nostalgia and bringing that back up and done well the original way, the way it should have done. But the reboot of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
See, I haven't watched that yet. I've been trying to talk Eileen into doing it, but to watching it with me, but she's not a big fan.
Did either of y'all watch the old, like all the old ones?
I watched some of the old ones.
Yeah. This one, I can't remember that. I think it's Shane Ray is the guy that does it now.
Right.
And I've watched 4 of them. The first 2 I thought were hilarious. The other 2 are funny too, but I think there's parts of the first one where like they're playing some board game and like that it's just the old school, like everything is set up exactly how Mystery Science Theater 3000 was set up before.
Yeah.
And they've got it to where there was this one part in the first movie where somebody's playing I think they were playing checkers and they're like Yahtzee, bingo, chess, fuck it, whatever. It's one of my favorite parts from any of these. And I think with Mystery Science Theater 3000, the reboot, what they've done with this is they are playing off the nostalgia while kind of like making it new with new movies that are old shitty movies that have been recently released, but keeping the feel. Like they're not ruining the experience from what people had from the old Mystery Science Theater 3000, but they're still, it's almost like they brought it back and they're making it new.
Right.
And I'm okay with stuff like that. And maybe, hopefully with the Dark Crystal, they can do that same type of thing where they bring it back and it's like an addition to what the movie was, even though it's been so long since the Dark Crystal came out.
Right.
So that's what I'm hoping.
Well, I mean, you see stuff like with like The Day the Earth Stood Still, like that actually, I remember I watched the original one before I went and saw the other one in theaters. And it was neat because, I liked the idea. I mean, it's not they're not going to be winning any awards for the storyline or anything, but I mean, it was neat seeing that, the special effects are now keeping up with my imagination. I mean, like that's what I enjoy. Like when I remember watching, I was being very disappointed with the Harry Potter movies because I felt like they tried to do stuff and they just weren't able to keep up with the imagination and what the book had created in my mind.
Right.
And so, I mean, I kind of wish they hadn't gone with Keanu Reeves because then you've got, like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures, but still or whatever. I mean, I think I do think that the playing on nostalgia, quit doing. If you can't do it right, don't just do it to sell fucking action figures or to ruin the Ninja Turtles.
If it's done right, it's fun though.
Yeah, I mean, I hated the new Ninja Turtles. Hated both of them. They're just horrible.
That makes me so sad. And I know Kerry's gonna agree with you. And I liked the first one. I loved the second one with Bebop and Rocksteady.
I mean, I love that they had Bebop and Rocksteady. I mean, I watched the second one. I love that it had the elements that I remember.
Yeah,
but I hated.
Can't get past Megan Fox. I think.
I mean, not even Megan Fox. I couldn't get past the rapping turtles. Like I felt like the Ninja Turtles like superheroes, and I felt like I couldn't like leave my keys lying around. I mean, I don't know. It felt So it felt like they all had a record. I don't know. I really did not care for the Ninja Turtles that they chose.
All right. So your thoughts on. Well, I want to get your thoughts on the new Mystery Science Theater 3000 real fast, Gary. Have you watched it at all?
No, I haven't seen it.
Of course you haven't. Shut the fuck up. All right, moving on now. We'll move on to Andrew. I want to get your thoughts on Injustice 2 because I haven't played it yet. I've gone to Red Boxes trying to find it, and I haven't found it yet.
Well, then it's looking at Redbox for a while, right?
Huh?
Don't they usually wait like 2 weeks after release for Redbox?
Some of them do it almost like immediately. Some of them do it like a couple of days after the game releases. But I'm guessing this will be one that'll be a couple of weeks afterwards.
Yeah.
But I'll wait. That's fine. I'm gonna wait to buy it. I talked about that last time. It's a game that I definitely want to play it. I might need to go buy Injustice because I still haven't even played the first one.
Right.
So I might have to go and play that. But I'm gonna buy Injustice 2 later when it's cheaper. But I want to get your thoughts on the game right now.
Well, thus far, I've been playing it quite a bit. I've beaten it or played all the way through. Played the Superman ending where that you can choose, which is one of my favorite features that they allow you to play. You get into situations instead of just following a single character, you can play 2 different characters. I think that they've got there's at one point where you can have Black Adam or Aquaman, which choose Aquaman because Aquaman is a total badass in this game, which is never the case, but. I really enjoyed that. I liked that they kind of the best thing about the game is the storyline. I mean that's what I'm not a big fighting game fan, but the way it's the fighting game within this really really cool story. It's practically an interactive movie. Is one of my favorite parts, and that there's alternate endings and that there's alternate branches you could take like a. What are those books that you can, like the choose your own story books?
Whenever I was working at the station, I talked with Paul Gallant about those, and he said he used to love those books. I didn't even know they existed.
Well, I talked to him about them. They were older than us. Like the only reation I read them was because Adam had them.
Oh, okay.
So like they were like definitely older than me, but we had them in the house, so I read them. But
yeah, that's cool. I like anything that has not 1, not 2, but 3 or 4 different endings. It just has multiple different endings that you can kind of go. Like,
it increases playability.
Yes.
I mean, because then it's like watching a movie that has like all the deleted scenes. Like you get to see like what else could they do with it, and it makes it a whole lot more fun. And plus, like the fighting game aspect of it for me is more enjoyable than say like an MMORPG or one of those because. For me, I can sit down and try to train my fingers to do the different combos and stuff like that. But I can do that in 20, 30 minutes and be like, oh, cool, I can do this new move and it's helpful at this point.
Right.
But if it's like you have to spend 3 hours questing in order to get this armor, it's like, well, fuck, dude, I can't do that. But I love
that the grind. I'm all about the grind.
Yeah, see, I love the grind. Like that's what I enjoyed about Destiny. I just don't have the time for the grind, which is unfortunate.
Time for the grind.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to make a T-shirt.
That's going to be a new T-shirt.
Yeah, that's going to be our first Nerded Up T-shirt. Is
make time for the grind.
Yeah, we'll have the logo on the back.
Fucking Gym Rats will take it over and it'll be on flat brim.
Oh fuck! You know what though? Those those motherfuckers spend a shit ton of money on like shitty T-shirts. What is?
They do.
I want to say it's the Ed Hardy T-shirts and shit like that. They fucking spend if it's Ed Hardy. Or if it's what's the fucking like MMA fighting brand that everybody fucking
Tap Out?
Tap Out, like if it's
they might as just rename it douchebag because I've never seen someone wearing a Tap Out shirt or a Tap Out sticker that was like, yeah, that guy's a douche.
We'll just you know what I was at Target one time. I stopped in to get a video game and I went into the Target. There was a car parked in the handicap parking spot and it had an Ed Hardy sun visor and my first thought is like, yeah, fuck that guy, he deserves that. I'm like yeah, that guy deserves to be handicapped because he's a fucking douche.
Yeah, well, I recently started going to the gym.
Oh, there's a lot of those guys there.
Oh, dude, I've never seen so much Volcom shit in my entire life. Well, that's the thing. I go to the gym. I haven't been lifting weights. I just ride the bike for an hour, right?
Yeah.
So really, I just sit there, ride the bike, and hate my life and people watch. And so it's hilarious seeing all these people who get like super dressed up, like they're going to the to go to the gym. And just will like shamelessly stare at themselves in the mirror the whole time. I mean, there's guys just sitting there they're working like they'll be doing like the bike or the treadmill, and they're like, I mean, it's just oh my god, it's. So I enjoy the gym, but I kind of need to put blinders on, otherwise I just hate humanity. And I like flat brim hats. Kids, if you're listening, they're not the cool. Worst. They're not okay. Don't do that.
This hat is pissing me off right now because it's not curved enough.
Yeah,
I need it to be more curved, like this, like fucking that. And it's like it goes out like this. I'm like, fucking quit that shit.
The reason that they made flat brim hats, just so you guys know, is so that your male lover can place his drink on the rim of your hat while you take care of him, while you fillet him, if you will. So, please, kids, no more fucking hats.
What the fuck were we talking about? Oh, our
Injustice 2.
Injustice 2.
We were talking about video games.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick before we're almost out of time. So before we're out of time, before we're done, Andrew, do you have anything like any other little things that you want to talk about real fast? Do you have anything quick?
Not right. I'm still stoked about the different DLC characters that they have lined up for Injustice 2.
Okay.
I think they've got like Hellboy is lined up. Spawn's a definite one.
Spawn, that's the one I'm excited to play.
Yeah,
I'm sad that I don't, like I said last time, I'm sad that I don't get Darkseid, but Spawn, I'm excited to play when I play the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, shit, it's not like they're gonna not sell you Darkseid if you want to buy him. So I mean,
right?
So, but yeah, so I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm looking forward to the Wonder Woman movie, and Dark Crystal sounds like it's gonna be badass, and Kerry's gonna reread the Game of Thrones series to realize how wrong he is about George R. R. Martin.
Yeah, we talked about last night. We talked about last night because Kerry doesn't like George R. R. Martin's writing.
Have you read Name of the Wind, Kerry?
By Patrick Rothfuss?
Yeah.
No, it's on my desk. I haven't read it yet.
Read it. I'm into Kvoth's story now.
Yeah.
I think I'm in chapter 11, and oh my god, once he starts telling the story, it's just fucking like I tell people with the Wheel of Time, like with the first one, Eye of the World, do the 100. It's like the 100-page challenge. Just read the first 100 pages, and once shit goes down within the first 100 pages with Rand and his dad, like you're hooked.
Yeah,
and it's the same thing with Name of the Wind. Once Kvoth starts telling his story, it gets so good, and I've been locked in. That's why I haven't watched like any. I still haven't watched that episode of Silicon Valley that we talked about in last week's episode.
Dude.
But because all I've been doing is sitting around and I put it on the audiobook for Name of the Wind, and then just start playing video games.
Yeah,
which
good,
I'll review this in next week's episode. But I bought PlayerUnknown's Battleground, and oh my god, that game is fun. Real quick, like the idea behind it is that they take 100 players and they drop them by plane onto a massive island, and you have to be the last person standing. It's like Hunger Games on a video game, and you just go find guns and gear and try to find people and kill them. And the play area slowly shrinks the longer the game goes on. I think that
there mutts?
Yeah, the farthest I've made is like I was player number 25, like I was the 25th or 26th one left in the game. But like you die, and then they give you the option to leave, and like you're just like, oh, that was fucking awesome. Even though I haven't won a single match yet, it's still fun. So we'll talk about that and review that at a later date, because I think that game might be the future of shooters, in my opinion, and where that needs to be the direction where shooters go, because it's a phenomenal game. Kerry, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're so silent for the end of that. You know what? Maybe that's better for all of us if you don't talk. Jesus Christ.
Better for me.
It's all right. Well, thank you so much for listening to the Nerd Up podcast. Thank you so much for those who watched it on Facebook. Right now, we had it. This is our test stream on Facebook.com/NerdedUpPod. You can find me at Josh Beard Radio on Twitter. You can find Andrew at Dare Warthog on Twitter. Kerry doesn't have a Twitter because he's a nihilist and he's antisocial.
I'm government.
You can find us at NerdedUpPod on Twitter as well. We're on Podbean, nerdedup.podbean.com. We're on iTunes and Google Play now, so go look us up on there, subscribe, listen to us, and we'll make ear babies within you. Absolutely. Like we'll make sweet ear loving, and we'll drop off our
Wrath of Khan.
Right, we'll shoot our ear jizz into your ears, and little laughter ear babies will run around in your head. So, thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you next time, guys.
And don't cast Megan Fox.